Alright guys, so this is my 11 for the first T20 against South Africa. At the top we got Sharjeel and Rizwan opening. I think Sharjeel is that, naturally attacking player who's going to get you off to a flyer and set up the innings for the middle order batsman, or even in a chase when you're chasing a big score and you need a positive start to put the opposition on the back foot and assert some dominance. He's that player to be in there. So I think after he's come back from his ban, he's played PSL, was played well in the PSL. Obviously was cut short and going to be rescheduled, but he played well in the games he did play in. Rizwan has been in some great form. Last year he had that 89 against New Zealand, great innings. I remember watching. He's really developed his game throughout the formats. He's versatile. He can play Test, ODI, and T20 cricket. So, I think he will carry on. I would open him. And we've got Barber at number 3. He's been opening with Rizwan, but I don't think having those two anchors long term is a good idea. It's worked short term in for a small amount of time, but I think long term, I think it'll be a bit more. It's better to have someone more like Sharjeel. So Barber will actually drop down a place, in my opinion, and I would play him at 3. He has an average of 48 in T20s. If Sharjeel gets out early, you got Barber to come in. I don't think you could ask for a better batsman to come in. He opens. He's been successful at opening. Average 48. So consistent. Striker of 130. One of the best batsmen in the world. At number 4, we got Hafiz. Now Hafiz is really at the end of his career, coming towards the late end, the twilight of his career. He's really improved his batting. T20 wise, his striking had an average of 83 last year, striking at 150, and really developed his game. And that was that sort of, we were playing Hafiz and Shoaib Malik, so in one team, and there was, okay, we can't play both. And then he played that innings against England. I remember the innings against England in the T20s last year, and that was sort of straight away. Everyone was like, it's going to be Hafiz. He's the one that should be in the squad. He needs to be the one that stays, and Shoaib Malik shouldn't be playing. But so he's starts at number 4. Obviously, didn't play in the last series. He'd rather stay in Dubai, play the T10 league. So yeah. Now at number 5, I've got Heather Ali. Now obviously he's been opening mainly in it for Pakistan, but I think He's been a bit. He's not. He's got an average of 25, and he's a striker of 137. So he's not done too bad, especially he's had 10 games. But I think obviously with the PSL performances, if you guys know that he actually batted more like a 4 and a 5, that sort of area, and he batted really well. He had a bit more of a, because obviously if you're batting and you lose wickets early, it's a lot more of a detriment. But he was coming in when the platform was set, and he had a lot more freedom, and that's why he batted really well for Peshawar, and he finished some games off where the top sort of 3-4 had sort of set up the game, and he just come in at the end and scored like 20 off 7 or 8 or something like that. And I think it could be, it's a new role, and this might be a better position for him. Now we've got maybe a controversial one. We've got Asif Ali at number 6. To be honest, in this squad, I don't think we have a number 6. There's no other. Please comment below if you think who should play at 6. We've got Danish Aziz, who, if you follow him, I don't think most people won't, because they just don't. I think most people don't follow cricket. I think that specifically. But for Sindh, he doesn't bat at 6. He bats at 4 and 5. And even the games where he's done, even those, like even number 5, he bats, the games he's done really well was one game where Sindh lost loads of wickets. He came in really early, like in the first 7 or 8 overs, and he built an innings where there was a massive collapse and won a game. So you could play him at 6, but that's not his position. So most people will see him play at number 6. For example, if you played him at number 6, not play well, and they'll be like, oh, this guy's rubbish. But he's not rubbish. That's just not his position. So I think I wouldn't play him. You can rotate him in, but for the first game, I wouldn't play him. And I think Asif Ali, even though he's been very inconsistent, I think there's no one else in the squad. I'm looking at the squad. You guys can see. Is there someone else there shouting at you, thinking, play him? You tell me. Comment below. For him at number 7, I think in South Africa, we're playing in South Africa. We'll be playing 4 fast bowlers and 1 spinner. So for him, the all-rounder, and the 3 fast bowlers and a spinner. He's really improved his bowling. He's actually taking wickets in T20. He took 3 for 20 in New Zealand. Very hard place to bowl, a very good batting lineup, and he really bowled well. He's got a plan. He hits that sort of back of a length, not a good length, back of a length, short, bangs it in. He's got a clear plan, and his batting also has improved T20 cricket wise. He's, we all know he's worked well. You might not know he worked with Mohammad Yusuf at the National Academy, and he's really improved Test match wise. We've seen T20 wise as well, and I think, and he's, I think he should be number set in South Africa. Personally, at 8, I think, he's been off, he's just come back from injury, only first, played the Test match against South Africa in Pakistan in February. He played only the one ODI, and I think that's good, the way they sort of, what they were trying to do is rest him and then playing one ODI, and they might play him 3 T20s, 2 or 3. I doubt. They shouldn't play him 4, but maybe they will. It's Pakistan, but I think his slots in there. His bowling, I think he just needs to bowl more, and his batting has been excellent. I think, in that last ODI, he scored a 32, I think he scored, and he, really ended. Pakistan should have, without him, Pakistan would have lost that game. He had an excellent contribution in that game. Bowling wasn't as good, but it was a hard wicket to bowl on. But T20 wise, I think he should be in there. We got Mohammad Hasnain. Now, we've seen Mohammad Wasim and talk about fast bowling 140 plus and all this. And I think there is that, I don't know, that's why I'm going to come on to it later, while Mohammad Wasim Jr. has been picked because he bowled fast, somewhat fast, 140 plus in the PSL. Hasnain's got pace, he's got skill as well, he can swing the ball early. He was doing it in the PSL, he did it against South Africa in the ODIs, and I think he can swing the ball. He's got bouncers, really, quick bouncers. He can bowl Yorkers when he wants to. So he's got all the skills at a young age. He still needs to obviously practice at Yorkers. For some reason, he doesn't bowl them as often as he should. But I think he slots in. Usman Qadir, unfortunately, in South Africa, you can only replay one spinner. Obviously, we've got Hafiz, it doesn't really spin, but actual spinner, I think you should play, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not sure specifically what this pitch is going to be, but looking at an overview, I'd say one spinner. Usman Qadir is in great form. He's, spins the ball. He's so good to watch. I haven't seen anyone pick his googly. He doesn't over bowl it. I think he bowls perfectly in tandem. He bowls the leg spinner and googly so perfectly, not over bowling either delivery, and he just perfect. And I think in South Africa, in India, in the World Cup, he's going to be such a big asset for Pakistan, because they'll be playing at least two spinners in the team, and he'll be definitely one of them, I think. And then we've got Haris Rauf. He's had great T20 performances, Big Bash, but maybe has been as consistent. I still want to definitely play him. Some people are saying he should be dropped and not play. It's just, I don't know. I have no comments for that, but he should definitely play more. Give him more of a chance, definitely. And then after a certain amount of games, you can say, okay, he's played like 20 games for us or whatever, 15 to whatever the games are amount you want to judge him on. He's come good in half the games or whatever. He's come good in this many games. Is it worth risking playing him when because he's fast bowling, he bowls very fast, might not work on all pitches. Is it worth the risk? But I think we should still play him. He's got passion, he's got aggression. We've seen the aggression. He's got the passion for definite. He's definitely not going to give up, and he's got real pace, and he is the fastest in the team, and he will bowl. He's bowling 150. He's bowling 150. So we've got just other players in the squad. Just want to quickly touch on Fakhar Zaman. I know he's in great form. He just scored back-to-back hundreds in the ODIs. He's still not in good in T20 form. And one of my things is you got to pick players on. I wouldn't mind seeing him, but I'd definitely play him in this series, I want to say. Because I know people will probably be upset maybe, or why you're not playing him. I would probably play him like him and Sharjeel 2-2. So, but you got to make it clear that, let's say they're playing, let's say Sharjeel doesn't play well in the 2 games and then you play Fakhar. People got to understand, it's not them dropping Sharjeel. They got to, even if he plays well, they should do it. But for example, let's say Sharjeel doesn't play well and you play Fakhar, that's not like a replacement that, okay, that's it, Sharjeel's out, Fakhar's in. It's that you got to be, I think Pakistan fans don't understand that if that happened, it doesn't mean he's been dropped. Shoji's been dropped. It's just that they're rotating. So I think Fucker should play maybe the last two. I think that's pretty fair. Play him the last two, especially because he's in such good form. Safraz, haven't really got much coming on Safraz really. I don't think he'll play in this team. He might get like the last game or something, but I don't know. He had some, I can't remember specifically his performances for Quater in the PSL. I can't really remember, to be honest. We got Dynasties. He did play in the ODIs, got the 2 games, didn't perform, not surprised. His only real positions will be like number 4 and 5. He's not moving Hafiz, and he could play for Heather, but I think Heather will play in the T20s, and I think he might play in that position, so Danish won't be able to get in, and he's not the number 6. I think people might say, "Oh, play him at number 6." If you've followed him for Sindh and followed his career so far, he's not a number 6. He can't just come in and start hitting. He needs to build his innings. He's got good strike rate, T20 strike rate of 138, but he's not like a come in couple of balls hitter. You know what I mean? He's someone that needs to build his innings. Mohammad Nawaz, I think he's in there because he's definitely going to be a long term, as in India. I think might be one of the spinners, sort of Imad Hussain replacement. He's got good batting, good bowling. He can bowl at any stage of the innings. I think Imad Hussain was sort of restricted with the only really bowling in power play and not being as effective out of the power play. So yeah, Nawaz is in there. He might get I would get him a game in there. We've got 40-20, so swap him in for Fahim. I'll definitely get him in there for at least a game or two. We've got Mohammad Hussain Jr. shouldn't really be in the team. Didn't really have, he's been picked on PSL performances, but he didn't really perform that special anyway. So I don't really know why he's in the team. He's actually apparently an all-rounder, so maybe he'll get swapped in for Fahim. Give him a game or two as well. Shouldn't really be in the team. Hardly played any cricket at a high level, as in for like even PSL, he's hardly played. When you got players like Amri Amin and Ahmad Butt who have been playing, Ahmad Butt's got over 60 T20 games. He's been playing T20 games domestic, and he has still some reason got dropped after not playing. Same with the Amri Amin, he's played like a similar amount of games, got picked in the squad, didn't play, got dropped. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. We got Zaid Mahmood. He had a good performance against the first T20 he played. He took 3 wickets. He was very impressive, but it's not really a long-term solution. He's about 34, so he's in the test squad against Zimbabwe. So I think they might look to him for more of a test match bowling. But he's in the squad. I think he came in for Shadab. I think that's what happened. So he wasn't really in the squad initially. I don't think anyway, but he sort of came in for Shadab. We got Arshad Iqbal. Had a few good PSL performances. I don't think he should. He had a few good, decent performances in the PSL. He's been picked. I'm not saying these guys are bad bowlers or anything. What I'm just saying is that it's just of a couple of performances they get in, and then let's say they'll play, and then they'll play a couple of games, and then end up playing a big stage, playing a big team, play really bad. Everyone complains, but it's like these guys have like hardly any experience, T20 experience. And then they play bad. You can't blame them. They're getting picked after only playing a couple of decent performances. So Arshad Iqbal, would I get him in there? They might try him out, but I'm not really too keen on it. And we've got Shaheen Afridi. Probably the only reason he's not playing is because he's been bowling so much. He'll get in, he'll play. Like I think they might end up picking him up for the first game, but I think they should rotate. I think, to be honest, all round, I think they should rotate him, Arshad, in for example, in that bowling attack at the moment, the most experience is Hassan Ali, I would say, internationally. So if they want to make a swap, they would swap Shaheen Afridi for Hassan, if that makes sense, because you couldn't have, let's say in that you couldn't have Arshad Iqbal in there instead of Hassan Ali because there's not that much like bowling experience. So that's why if you rest Shaheen, you'd have to play Hassan, and vice versa. If you don't play Hassan, you'll more than likely have to play Shaheen. So that's my 11. Had a quick feedback over the squad as well. Make sure you give me your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you share the video, like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video.